A lot of developments happening in Washington, leaving many wondering what's going on. The shutdown scare involving FEMA this week is only the latest on a string of government shutdown scares this year. We're now joined by Senator David Vitter to talk about what's happening and how it could affect us here in Southwest Louisiana. These government shutdowns, what do they really mean? Are they scare tactics?
Well, a lot of it is hype. This last showdown, possible shutdown really was never going to happen. But it's a lot of partisan bickering, which we need to cut through. Fortunately, in this last case, we did that. We did fund FEMA. We are moving forward with disaster aid. So hopefully we'll begin to work in that vein. From the very beginning, I said, look, of course we need to fund these disasters. These are people in need. There needs to be no question about that. We need to say that and say it clearly. However, if we can pass offsets so that does not increase deficit and debt, we should do that as well. And that's what we ended up doing.
Yeah, the other thing going on in Washington right now is criticizing, a lot of criticism going toward the Obama administration for renewable energy funds. Taxpayer money, billions of it going to renewable energy, and especially with the Solyndra scandal, there's been a lot of problems. With
the Solyndra scandal, a lot of people are asking if that program and similar programs are really good stewards of taxpayer dollars. You know, that one company, Solyndra, got more stimulus money than all of Louisiana did for all highways, roads, bridge work in the entire state. And then it went belly up. What's worse, there's a clear trail of emails and other documents that showed that the analysts really cranking the numbers, really looking at the details within the administration were saying, this doesn't look good, this doesn't look like this company can survive. So it seemed to have been very politicized.
Yeah, and the Huffington Post reports they gave $528 million to Solyndra.
Right.
But recently you asked for about $245 million for a loan for coal-fired plants in Louisiana. How can the public trust that the same thing won't happen with that money when it's going here?
We absolutely need reforms. That's why I've introduced a bill several months ago to demand full accountability and transparency. Whoever the applicant is, whether it's Solyndra, whether it's a Louisiana company, whoever it is, there needs to be full accountability and transparency. There isn't in that program, so we need those reforms.
Okay, and moving on to a different topic, more locally, you've been a part of some town hall meetings with Representative Landry. I think Representative Bustani was absent from the recent one, but what's your take on the two? They'll likely face off in the next election when the districts are redrawn.
Yeah, of course, that's a year away. So we have an election right before us at the state level. That's a year away. Obviously, any contest between two incumbents will be pretty competitive and heated, so we'll see. I was just doing town hall meetings with Congressman Landry about the spending and debt situation, and we did it together because we agreed and we voted alike on the big debt deal. Charles voted for that deal and for the debt limit increase, so that's why I paired with him, just as I did with Congressman Fleming in North Louisiana, with the state treasurer John Kennedy in other parts of the state, because there was that agreement.
So would you say he would be your favorite if that year election comes up?
Oh, I haven't said that. I haven't even begun to think about that election. It's a year away.
Okay. And speaking of favorites, the GOP nomination's on everyone's mind. Do you have a favorite?
No, I'm still looking at the field. I think I'm a pretty typical conservative voter, Republican voter, who's still trying to figure things out, reading new comments and new aspects of the candidate's record every day. So I'm really still looking at the field. I'm not avoiding the question. I think a lot of Republican voters feel that way.
Yeah, and Herman Cain just came up in the straw poll in Florida, and that was a big surprise to a lot of people as well. Were you surprised?
Yes and no. I mean, certainly Herman Cain came from the back of the pack, but it is a straw poll. As you know, Elizabeth, that's not a scientific poll. It's not a broad-based poll. It's just who happens to show up, which are activists at that particular event. So I wouldn't put a whole lot of stock in that, although I certainly respect Herman Cain.
Well, thanks, Senator, for being here today, and I know that you'll be meeting with Agriculture Commissioner Mike Strain while you're in town, and even having a roundtable in Abbeville at the Chamber of Commerce.
Right, also meeting with some Southwest Louisiana bankers right here.
Great. Well, thanks for being here,
Thanks,
and
Elizabeth,
enjoy your
very
stay
much.
in the lake area.
Appreciate it.
Thanks. Well, when the